Not one, not two, but 4 CARES Act grants are announced overnight. Money that can land in your hand right away, right now. Meantime, $2,400 for SSI, Social Security, and railroad benefits under the Biden administration. Then, upwards of a $5,000 stimulus check under Trump. He wants stimulus to go out right now and can repurpose CARES Act 1 money that's sitting at SBA. Then, overnight, breaking news about stimulus. Stimulus needs to go out right now by act of Congress. And will it include hazard pay? That's the big question. This is breaking news. And this is Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday morning. How are you? You made it through Monday holiday. You're to Tuesday, which is not much better. But, there's always the calcina for brunch. That always helps. Hope you are good and safe. The toast is toasted and the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here. And surprisingly, more of you said you prefer cream cheese over butter on your toast. Wow. I'm going to ask the question again. Drop in the comments below. Is it cream cheese? And then a lot of you had interesting places of where you put your cream cheese, which was sort of funny. So I was surprised to hear that as well. Keep it G-rated, thank you. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please do, because I'm getting you money right now. I'm not getting you money 5 days from now, 5 weeks from now, 5 months from now. I'm getting you money right now. And in this video, I'm going to go over 3 ways to get money and breaking news overnight about new CARES Act 1 grants announced for you that you could be getting right now. Also, like this video, it helps for the video to appear higher in the rankings, and we're currently ranking 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 this morning across the world. Boy, in this video, I have a lot to go over. First, I'll be going over money you can get right now, and I'll be answering some of your questions that you asked last night in Purple Power Live every night at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time and 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. 3 types of money you can get right now. Then I'll be focusing on money right after, which is a SBA $800 billion of CARES Act 1 money currently sitting around that can be repurposed as a stimulus check, a $5,000 stimulus check. And could the stimulus check be more than $5,000 in light of new evidence found by LALATE on this channel? The president wants stimulus to go out, so do it right now. And the push is underway for executive orders and by congressional action. Then I'll go over money right thereafter. $2,400, upwards of $4,000 that could land in your bank account under Biden for SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and railroad benefits. And $50,000 grant, $10,000 grant, another $10,000 grant, and of course, hazard pay. The breaking news about hazard pay overnight. All right, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you sit here this morning is that there's money available for you to get right now. In the last 2 days, I have been focusing on abilities for you to get money right now. We're not waiting around for Congress, we're not waiting around for could, would, should, would, maybe, or move on over, as Sir Lloyd would say. We're getting money right now. And there's 3 ways to get money right now, and I'm going to go over the first one with breaking news overnight. The first one is CARES Act 1 money. This is CARES Act 1 money established in March, given to states to then give to cities and counties. $150 billion of it. The cities and counties are now suddenly, in November, using it. Why now? Because they have to use it or lose it. The rule is they have to actually give it to you or return it to the federal government. Some have actually had to now return it to the federal government because they waited too long. Others are rushing to roll them out right now. These are grants that apply to every single one of my viewers, with the exception of that 1% of you that shouldn't be watching because you make too much money. There's the only way you don't qualify is if you made a lot of money last year. Elon, just turn away. You don't need to be watching my videos. Those are the only people that don't qualify for the money that I'm talking about. The money is available across the country. These are grants in every single state. These aren't grants only in California. These aren't grants only in big cities. These are grants in every single state of the country. And it qualifies for people on SSDI, SSI, Social Security, railroad benefits, retirees. You would get the one for rent and for food and for stimulus checks. Everyone else would also get that as well. Then there's some additional grants on top of that that are for businesses, and then some for hazard pay. But there's always a grant out there that is offered across the board that you need to find. The way you find it, first of all, is you go on Google News and look for CARES Act 1 plus grant plus your city or county. If you didn't find it yesterday, look again today. If you don't find it today, you look again tomorrow, because these are being announced by the hour. And here we go, the breaking news overnight. Not one, not two, not three, but 4 grants announced. On Monday, in a 2-to-1 vote, the Board of Oklahoma County Commissioners, this is Oklahoma County, approved a $15 million CARES Act grant fund that will help people in need. This one has applications starting right now through December 9th. You see how close a window it is? It's a very narrow window for application. Next, the Arkansas Legislative Council approved on Monday a grant program of $50 million. The application period begins on Monday, November 16th and will close Wednesday, November 25. Wow, what is that? 9 days? That's just, okay. Better apply really quickly. The grant will also reimburse people from March to September. Next, this is the third one. A deadline for two new South Carolina grant programs targeting minorities and others were announced on Monday. They will be accepted through November. They start accepting through November 1st. Then finally, Minnesota. With a deadline, and this is how the actual article read in a Minnesota local newspaper, with the deadline to spend CARES Act funds looming, that's what the article says, the Brooklyn Park City Council and its October 26 meeting approved to allocate approximately $600,000 to rental unit managers and for people who can't make rent. So you see, this is a smaller town, obviously, in Minnesota, and it actually says we have to use the money right now. And since it's smaller, they have $600,000, and their applications are just opening right now. Boy, so that's money right now, number one. Money right now, number two, which has absolutely been a major hit of this channel, is escalated benefits. Yesterday on Purple Power Live, I asked viewers what date, actually 2 days ago, I asked them, what date did you start unemployment benefits? Most of them started in March. Guess what? It's been 30 weeks since you went on unemployment if you started in March. If you do escalated benefits, what you're doing is raising your base weekly benefits up a certain amount, or trying to max it out to the highest amount. If you max it out, you're raising it about $200 a week. If you're raising it up a little bit, you're raising it up as much as you can. How do you know how much you can raise it? It's really discretionary, but there's certain benchmarks. If you made over $30,000 a year, you could max it out potentially. If you made about 20 or 19 or 18,000, you may raise it about $50 a week. Hey, $50 a week at 30 weeks is about more than a stimulus check. $100 a week is 2 stimulus checks. $200 a week is a lot of stimulus checks. You can get about $1,500 to about $6,000, bam, right in your account right now. The way you do it is you pull your 2019 tax return, you look and see how much money you made, you get that tax return together, you scan it, put it in your computer, then you write a letter to your state unemployment agency department and say, hi, I'm currently on this level of benefits, this weekly benefits. Can you please see if I qualify for extra weekly benefits? Use the word extra or more. Don't use complicated words like escalated or enhanced. People don't know what that means because those words are confusing to people. Use basic words. But here's the benchmark that you need to know. Most states have starting benefits of about $100 a week, and then their maximum benefits are about $300 to $500 a week. As you can see, there's almost a $300 to $400 range from base to high, and states want to start you at the cheapest one because they want to be cheap. And they don't want to hear about anything other than being cheap until you say, hey, I made a little bit of money last year. Why do you have me at the cheap rate? Oh, sorry, I forgot to check on that. And they don't do it unless you ask for it. And so what you need to do is submit them your 2019 return and then ask them professionally and politely, please look at this. But you know the benchmarks, because I'm telling you right now, if you made over $30,000 a year, you could be maxing out. And maxing out is a lot of money in some states. In other states, it's even good money. In the Southwest, it's about $300 a week. In the Midwest, it's about in the Southwest, it's about $400 a week. In the Midwest, about $300 a week. And the Northeast, where it costs more to live, it's about $450 a week. So you want to push as high as you can push. Then they do it retroactively, back to the date at which you started unemployment benefits. Yes, 30 weeks, raising your base level benefits, $10, $50, $100, $200, $300. It's a lot of money right now. Third type of right now is EIDL. And I got some really good questions overnight about EIDL. This is EIDL, Edward Igloo, Donald Larry. It's at S, Sam, B, Boy, A, Andrew.gov. Economic injury disaster. When you go to apply for it, some people are saying, my credit score is low. I don't know if I can get it. I have done hundreds of EIDL videos. No one has more comprehensive knowledge about EIDL than me. You can ask the people who I've got $10 to $25 million on this channel for EIDL. The way you increase your credit score is very simple. You call up Experian. It's free. And you say to them, I want to see what negative credit entries are on there. And then you can dispute the credit entries. It takes less than a week generally, and the longest time frame is about 1.5 weeks to dispute negative entries. Now, you may not have to do that. Just ask them what your Experian Vantage 3.0 score is. That's what SBA uses. It doesn't use FICO. It doesn't use TransUnion. It doesn't use 4.0 Vantage or 2.0 Vantage. It only uses Experian Vantage 3.0. And you need about a 570. If you're a little bit lower, you can do the Experian Boost, which is free for 25, which raises you 25 points. And there you go. And then you're ready to start. How much of an EIDL can you get? How does it work and where does it work? Basically, if you are an independent contractor, sole practitioner who was working before the pandemic hit, and you have been negatively impacted by the pandemic, you qualify. The way you prove up your income is a Schedule C. A Schedule C or any type of business tax return that you may have filed. Some people have business tax returns. Other people just do it on their personal tax return as a Schedule C. And your EIDL will be the gross revenue, line 1 of that return, minus cost of goods sold, which is line 2, divided by 2. So if you are an Uber Lyft driver and you made $6,000 a year, y'all know how much money you made last year. Everyone always sort of knows that number. I did Uber and Lyft last year. I made $6,000. Great. How much it costs of goods sold? 0. Okay, $6,000 divided by 2 is 3. You get $3,000 from EIDL in about 4 or 5 days. Bam, done. It's very simple. The provisions about how to repay it, I'll detail more on Afternoon's Check and more on Purple Power Live. Then let's turn to Stimulus Check. Well, there is exciting news. And the exciting news, as you saw in that article from Minnesota, is that states have to use or lose the money or it's going back to the federal government. And there's a lot of money going back to the federal government. In fact, there's so much money going back to the federal government, guess what they're not doing? They're not telling you how much money's coming back. And this is sort of, here we go again. Does it sound sort of familiar? It does sound sort of familiar. It's LALATE chasing the numbers, chasing the money for you because no one else is chasing the money. There's all this money that's coming back into the federal government that can be repurposed as a stimulus check, repurposed as another round of FPUC or PUA or extended UI. And suddenly the federal government doesn't sort of acknowledge this money's coming back, doesn't give you accounting of how much is coming back. It's like we have to audit our own boss. It's like, wait a second, there's all this money coming back. Now, you and I know, because I've done a couple videos about this, is that there's a lot of money at SBA of unused PPP money. It's about $800 billion. And at $800 billion, it's a $5,000 stimulus check. Well, guess what? All that money's coming back as well. So how much money could we get as a stimulus check? It may be even double. The point is they need to send this $5,000 stimulus check out now. It's ridiculous. Show you a couple reasons why. In the last 24 hours, Joe Biden said to send out stimulus. In the last 48 hours, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, said send out stimulus right now. A few days ago, Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer all said send out stimulus right now. Well, the way you do it, the quickest and the easiest way in no less than 48 hours is you do either an executive order repurposing that CARES Act 1 money, or you do a standalone bill. This is categorically the most important thing out there. A stimulus check and extension of unemployment benefits. Why? Because if you got a $5,000 stimulus check, you solve a lot of problems right now. You solve rent, you solve food, you solve unemployment, you solve a lot of problems right now. We could even wait to do unemployment about a week or two later if you got that check out right now, because people can get it within 10 days. Then we turn to unemployment. Mitch McConnell wants to do $300 a week for unemployment, so what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Because guess what? It's been since July that he offered that number of FPUC. And you need UI and PUA to be extended. They're expiring in December. $300 a week from July, August, September, October, November. Okay, that's 5 months. That's 20 weeks. 20 weeks at $300 is $6,000. Mitch McConnell wanted to give you $6,000 and the Democrats didn't want to take that? Does that make sense? No. As we sit here today, a lot didn't make sense in the last 24 hours. Breaking news overnight was that Joe Biden, the president-elect, had a press conference that spoke about what he wants you to have right now, and he was contradictory in all of 20 minutes. He first said, I want you to have all these things which were in the Biden plan, like $2,400. More about that in a second for SSDI. Then he said, I want you to have the HEROES Act. Then he said, I want you to have hazard pay. Guess what? There's no louse now. There's currently about 4 different plans coming across from the Democrats, and the Republicans have one. There's the original HEROES Act that had hazard pay in there, but did not have much of anything else. Then there's the second HEROES Act, which took out hazard pay and doesn't even have a measly $500 stimulus check for a lot of people. Then there was the Biden plan that gives you that $2,400 of SSDI, SSI, and Social Security benefits as an emergency check, and gives you enhanced benefits of 20% lifetime triggered right away. Then gives you a step up every year based upon a new indexer other than COLA. Guess what? That's also not in the HEROES Act. Joe Biden also spoke about hazard pay. That's also not in the most recent HEROES Act. So what makes this very confusing is I doesn't think that people even remember what's in their bills anymore. They're just sort of arguing to argue. And it's very disconcerting. And ultimately, something has to happen. And that something is right now. Unfortunately, with 2 Georgia Senate races coming up in January, both parties have to have a reality check, because no one's going to vote for a party that doesn't give a stimulus relief now in November and has you wait around to January to get it. It doesn't work, and it will be political nightmare for both parties. That is the reality check. But as you and I know, I'm getting you money right now. We're not waiting around for hot air, that air, your air, my air, your highway, the highway. We're getting money right now. We can't be dependent upon congressional leaders who simply just want to battle and promise and push and argue and bicker. It's enough already. You need money right now. This money is available right now. Let me answer some of your broad stroke questions, which I got in the last 24 hours. First, one person in a very negative remark said, this is only stuff in California. No, that's sort of ridiculous. Yesterday, I announced a grant program announced in South Florida, in Orange County, that was a stimulus check. I think it was $1,800 given to 24,000 residents. No, in fact, there's probably less in California than anywhere else. 2, this is not applicable for SSDI, SSI. Absolutely also untrue. This is actually designed for people on SSI and SSDI. For rent and for food, these programs are triggered for people who make less money. They usually cancel out, are not eligible for, don't qualify for people who make too much money. That too much money is usually $48,000 or more per year. Third, someone said, I can't find it, hence it doesn't exist. Well, that's just sort of, just because you can't find it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It means that you haven't been able to find it. Next, some people have said something like, it wasn't there today, but then it's there tomorrow. Yes, that's certainly what's going on. A lot of these programs are announced and then literally have a very short time frame. You saw that one program. It had a 9-day window to apply. They are very quick. I've had a lot of viewers tell me they have watched my videos, found the program that day, got it in within a 5-hour deadline. It's that quickly. And the good news, if you're tuning in now, is most of these programs are use or lose right now. They're having to get them rolled out now. These are not things from June or July or August. These are things that are really on the ball right now. If you have questions, comments to today's video, drop them in comments below and I might feature them in tomorrow's recording. Coming up next is Holidays LA at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. And following that is Afternoons LA at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. As always, go to the front channel, subscribe. Subscribe because no one's getting you money better than I am. I'm fighting to find you money and we're fighting together to get it. Also, like this video. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay LA for more.